How often do you look at somebody who's struggling, and instead of seeing who they are, you see their issue? Today on the Good Morning Devotional podcast, we're going to talk about that. Hello and welcome to the Good Morning Devotional podcast, a podcast that comes to you once or twice a week with a message designed to encourage you, challenge you, and hopefully help you make your next step with God. I'm Dallas. I'm so glad to be with you guys today. Today, guys, we're looking at Mark chapter 5. Now, for context, my church, we do a church-wide Bible reading plan together. And so it's a pretty cool little thing we do. It's all through YouVersion, but we have a PDF you can download on the website for people who don't use YouVersion. But today we've been in Mark chapter 5. And we get down here to the story about the woman with the issue of blood. And this is there's a lot to unpack in this whole chapter. But I want to focus on one central aspect. That is that while Jesus is on his way to do one miracle, there's a woman who comes to him, and she is pushing through the crowd to find him. We know that she's been bleeding for 12 years and that she has seen doctor after doctor, and she's used all of her resources. Now, I need you guys to understand the context of the situation here. According to the book of Leviticus, specifically in chapter 15, it lays out that if a woman is bleeding like this woman is, that basically she has to separate from the community. Everything she touches becomes unclean. So this is a woman who has basically become almost a plague to people around her. They're not even allowed to touch her, otherwise they will become unclean themselves. So we have this situation taking place where this woman is desperate. She has been seen by the community as not who she is, but as the woman with the issue of blood. And so she comes to Jesus and she's pushing through the crowd. Now, as she's doing this, understand that means that if anybody recognized her in the crowd, there would be a problem instantly, because people would be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? You have made me unclean now. But she's pushing forward to Jesus and she grabs the hem of his garments. And Jesus stops and he says that he felt something leave from him. He says, who touched me? Of course, his disciples are looking around going, Jesus, there's 1,000 people here. Everyone's touching you. He's like, no. Someone specifically has touched me today, and I felt the power come out of me. What is going on? And he turns and he sees this woman. And this is what he says to her in verse 34. Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease. That first word there specifically is what I want us to focus on. He didn't look at her as a woman with the issue of blood. He didn't look at her as a woman who was unclean and unworthy, but rather he saw her as a daughter. He saw her as her identity, what God sees her, what God has called her to be. In life, we come into situations where there are people who we tend to stay away from because they're caught in a loop of things. Some of it is their fault. Some of it, like this woman, is not their fault. Something's going on the inside. But because of situations, they have become their ailments. They have become the person who is sick. They have become the alcoholic. They have become the druggie. They have become all these things that have gripped them, and they begin to live in that identity. It separates them. But what they need is to be seen as who they are. Not their issue, not their ailment, not their addiction, not their sin. When we grab hold of our true identity in Christ, there's a shifting that takes place. And that shifting leads to freedom. What did Jesus say? Go in peace and be healed. He established her identity first. And in that identity, he speaks that there's peace and healing. When somebody can grab hold of their identity in Christ, suddenly there becomes peace in the situation. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that everything goes smoothly automatically. But that piece of your identity leads to the healing that they really need. Perhaps you're listening now and you're one of those ones who You're stuck in a loop. You've lost your identity. Jesus sees you as a son. He sees you as a daughter. Not your sin, not your addiction, not your past. Walk in that identity, find the peace, and then from that point forward, you will begin to see a shifting take place of true healing. Appreciate you guys listening today. Hope this has encouraged you, challenged you, and remind you guys that this is part of the Geek Devotions podcast network. So there's a lot of different, very different type of podcasts on the network for you guys to connect with. If you guys would like to connect with me personally, check out the show notes. There are links to my business Facebook and my Instagram. It's Dallas Mora Creates. This is where I put out information about my upcoming book, some encouragement, and other aspects that are coming out. But I genuinely appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to this podcast. Again, these are my morning reflections from reading the scriptures, from just diving in alone with the Lord. These things have reminded me, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to voice these things. And I hope that they have reminded you of who you truly are too. Have a good week.